Will I be wrong when I say on this video been funded to always follow me? Speak the truth, Nashon.
Yeah, actually, it's very true. Yeah, it's very true. I've been given money.
You can't abuse the people online, you build such a house. You can never. Tell me any person who has been abusing people to build such a house. How much is the small money?
$200, $300.
Imagine, as less as that, just some people to destroy your family, whereas you have a young family. It's a Nashon one, you can easily see.
I see, bro.
Nothing less than $1 million. All right, and this is what you call this is what people they call begging. This is what people they say like it's sponsorship, it's money from a brother makes all these a reality. At times I run out of water. I wake up early in the morning. Hey Davy, this money just I feel like supporting you to buy water.
A very good evening, beautiful people. Welcome back to the channel. This is Maxwell Lumumba Africa, and today I'm going to discuss about Lady J emasculated Nashon 1, the ultimate revenge and humiliation targeting Jose. The biggest question is Lady J going back to dancing grandma? Today we are going to have a real talk. And before that, ladies and gentlemen, for those who have not subscribed to this amazing YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe, like, comment, and share this video to other individuals. Remember to turn on the notification bell so that any day, anytime I post any video, you people get updated. Watch my videos from the beginning up to the end without skipping those ads that you see there. Let us show love to this YouTube channel. Let us like all my videos. Ladies and gentlemen, Lady J has emasculated Nashon 1. It is honestly so sad to watch. I was like, he was talking to a child, schooling him, questioning him, and telling him to admit what happened. Lady J knows exactly what he's doing, and to me, this looks like a revenge. I really feel bad for Nashon 1 because I already see what is going on and what will happen next. More of Lady J's subscribers will probably say, we forgive you, but forgiveness does not necessarily mean they will forget what happened. They are not going to trust Nashon 1 the same way again, and I believe his videos could suffer in terms of view. Why? Because Lady J exposed him. He got Nashon 1 to admit that somebody paid him $200. And I have to ask, why would you do this? Why get involved in all these in the first place? Lady J even said that he had spoken to Nashon 1 off camera. That makes me wonder whether the entire confrontation was already planned and pre-arranged. But the way Lady J emasculated this guy, I honestly could not believe it. Bro, in life, you have to stand for something or you will fall for anything. Look at what happened with Percy and Marwa. Marwa gave her some talks, promises, and money. And look at where she is now. In my opinion, Percy may never return to where she was before. She is now seen by some people as a clown or somebody who can simply be hired. At this point, I honestly think she needs to step away from this YouTube thing and try something else, because rebuilding that reputation is going to be extremely difficult. Even for her herself, she realized this. That is why she's trying to build an audience via cooking videos, of which it is not even possible. And now look at Nashon 1. Nashon 1 is behaving like an invertebrate, someone without a backbone. From today, I might as well call him Invertebrate 1 instead of Nashon 1. I cannot believe what I was watching. This guy went to Lady J, and what was the end game? Lady J was telling Nashon 1, I have never seen somebody who abuses people building house, while when we look at Lady J brother and sister, they are alleged abusing people online. And let us be honest, Marwa has been one of the biggest abusers in YouTube street, and at least according to the accusations and controversies surrounding him, I can close my eyes and count how many people Marwa has alleged tried to bring down, telling people not to subscribe to them, telling people not to support them, and trying to turn his audience against them. So when Lady J is trying to tell people that there is no any person who abuses people who make it in life, who can drive, comparing himself as somebody who drives high-end vehicles. So when Lady J started bringing up all these, Nashon 1 needed to have a backbone. Then Lady J took out his phone and showed Nashon 1 his YouTube analytics. He was showing him how much money he makes, more than 1 million Kenyan shillings, according to what he displayed, and saying he does not depend on donation. But towards the end of the same video, he says he woke up one morning and there was no cement, there was no water or something similar, and then he received donations through his phone. That is exactly why we as reactors are necessary. Reactors keep these creators honest, they keep them on their toes. They ask the question that sometimes nobody around them can ask or can want to ask them. And Nashon 1 situation proves something else to me. Lady J understands how exactly subscribers are looking at him. Lady J knows what he's doing. This is a revenge. Some subscribers even went to Nashon 1's comment section and said, we forgive you, but they attached conditions. They were basically saying that they would only continue watching if Nashon 1 was no longer seen with Jose. Think about that. Subscribers are giving him conditions. That is how badly his image has been damaged. Lady J turned Nashon 1 into a child in that conversation, because to me, Nashon 1 did not stand in his ground. He was schooled and repeatedly pushed to admit things. Bro, let me tell you one thing. Subscribers from both sides may never trust Nashon 1 the same way again. Look at what happened to Clemo. Clemo was pushed out after the conflict with Marwa. He eventually came back and apologized to Marwa. But where is he now? His channel is down. If Gintu was ever chased away and then went back to Marwa saying, forgive me, boss, that could be the end of Gintu's credibility as well. People will ask themselves, what exactly does this guy stand for? Nobody can take you seriously when you constantly switch sides depending on where you think the money, views, or protections are coming from. You have to stand for something or you will fall for anything. Even when Cleo Bonny came to the village, Cleo Bonny went back to Marwa and apologized. where is Cleo Bonny right now? In my opinion, once you publicly surrender your position like that, people start questioning whether you have any principles. You may, or you have to stand for something. Lady J's biggest revenge was not chasing Nashon One away. No, his biggest revenge was making Nashon One come to him and explain himself. That is textbook revenge. Lady J knows that if he chased Nashon One away, Nashon One could simply make another video or join Lazy Gang or the reactors and gain more views and support. But now the situation is different. Nashon One has put himself in a difficult position. He cannot comfortably go back to Jose without facing questions from Lady J's supporters. And if subscribers are already saying, we will only watch you if you stop appearing with Jose, then Nashon One has a serious problem. And remember what happened months ago. Nashon One came out very strongly and warned Lady J. He was confident. He was talking like a man. He had even take a stand. That is the time that people were really praising Nashon One and telling people that there is nobody in that village who has balls like Nashon One. Nashon One has stand for what is right. He was talking with a very good position, but look at where we are now. Now people are saying Nashon One is going to cut off Jose. And that is where I see Lady J strategy coming into the picture. That is why I'm asking, is all these related to Dancing Grandma? Because Jose was there, Nashon One was there, and the reason why Nashon One had to talk about that, about Lady J, is because they were competing with Lady J in Dancing Grandma. And that is what happened. Now, because the views are not viewing, Nashon One is now retaliating. If Nashon One cuts off Jose, what happens to Dancing Grandma project? Who benefits? That is the biggest question. Lady J knows exactly what he's doing. He is pulling one string after another because he understands the psychology of the audience. If he had simply chased Nashon One away, Nashon One could have gone straight and created or reacted another narrative. But by bringing him into the conversation, questioning him, making him admit things and putting him under pressure, Lady J has created a completely different situation. Now, Nashon One is caught in trouble. He has lost credibility on both sides, and that is the saddest part. But bro, in life, you have to stand for something. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And after watching that conversation, I honestly understand why some people are now calling Nashon One invertebrate one, because the biggest thing missing from that conversation was the backbone to stand against Lady J. And let me say this, what I watched between Lady J and Nashon was not just an ordinary conversation for me. This was something much bigger. I watched a man walking in a conversation thinking he was going to explain himself, only to find himself being questioned, challenged, and in my opinion, completely emasculated. And that man was Nashon One. Now, before anybody comes to the comment section and says, yes, you are attacking Nashon One, listen to the entire video first. I am giving you my own perspective. I am analyzing what I saw, what I heard, and how the conversation unfolded, and what I believe the consequences are going to be. And honestly, guys, I came away from that video feeling very sorry for Nashon, because the way Lady J handled him was brutal. I was like, Lady J was talking to a child, and I was like, he was schooling him. I was like, he already knew what questions he wanted to ask. He knew what he wanted the conversation to go, and he kept pushing Nashon until Nashon started admitting things. And that is why I believe this was not just a conversation. I believe this was a revenge. This was Lady J's revenge. And if you have been following this whole situation, you will understand exactly what I'm talking about, because months ago, Nashon was very vigilant with Lady J. He was warning Lady J. He sounded very confident. He sounded like a man who has taken a position. But now look where we are today. Look at the same Nashon sitting in front of Lady J like a baby. Look at the question being asked repeatedly. Look at the admissions. Look at the explanation, and then ask yourself one thing. Who walked away from that conversation with the upper hand? For me, it was Daisy. There is no question about it. And the biggest problem for Nashon is not even what Lady J said, but the biggest problem is how Nashon responded. Because once your audience starts seeing you as somebody who can just be pushed around, somebody can be pressured into changing position, somebody who can be moved depending on where money, support, or protection is coming from, rebuilding that trust becomes extremely difficult. And that is what I think is happening to Nashon. People are looking at him different. Some people are calling him invertebrate. And honestly, after watching that conversation, I understand that name really suits him. Because, bro, in life, you have to stand for something. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. That is my biggest lesson from this whole situation. Now, Lady J apparently said that he had already spoken to Nashon off camera, and that is very important, because if two people have already discussed the issue privately before sitting down publicly, then I have to ask myself, what exactly was the purpose of the public conversation? Was everything spontaneously, or had the direction of the conversation already being discussed? I don't know. I wasn't there, but watching it, I certainly do not feel completely spontaneous to me. I felt like Lady J knew what he wanted from Nashon, and slowly, question by question, he got him there. That is why I call it revenge, because revenge does not always mean shouting. Revenge does not always mean insulting somebody. Sometimes revenge is sitting quietly and allowing somebody to expose themselves, and that is what I think Lady J did. He did not need to chase Nashon away. He did not need to destroy his channel. He did not make 20 videos attacking him. He simply sat there and asked questions, and Nashon answered them. That is my opinion. The most damaging part now is where Nashon is talking about being given $200 to follow Lady J wherever he goes. According to what was discussed, Nashon admitted that somebody had paid him 200 USD. And this is where I ask, why? Why did you allow yourself to get into that position? Because once money becomes part of public conflict, people immediately start questioning your motive. People start asking, were you speaking because you believe what you are saying, or were you speaking because somebody paid you? And that is very dangerous question for me as a content creator, because your credibility is your currency. You can lose money and recover. You can lose subscribers and recover, but you can have a bad video and recover. But whenever people lose trust in you, recovering becomes very hard. And I think Nashon One is facing that problem. Some people may forgive, but forgiveness does not automatically mean trust. And that is why I believe Lady J subscribers can say, we forgive you, but stop watching Nashon One's video. We have seen that severally. So those two things can exist at the same time. Someone can forgive and still say, I don't trust you anymore. And that is why you are a YouTuber. That is because views count from trust. People have to want to click on you. They have to believe your analysis. They have to believe what you are speaking from your own conviction. If they start believing that you can be influenced by money, promises, and relationship, or whatever the biggest audience, they will stop talking seriously. And this is why I believe Nashon One has a serious problem ahead of him, and that is the reality. And we have seen a lot of things about this history, about people taking bribes, people being convinced to submit things they don't even know. And let me talk about subscribers. Some subscribers reportedly went to Nashon One comment section and said they have forgiven, but they also attached condition. And this condition was basically saying that they will only continue watching if Nashon One stop being with Jose. Guys, let us be realistic. Let us think about it. When a subscriber start giving for condition 4, then to continue watching your channel, you know that is a serious trust problem. Imagine building a YouTube channel and then reaching a point where your own subscribers are telling you who you can associate with. That is the terrible position to be. And this is why I keep saying Nashon One needs to think very carefully about his next, because whenever he does from here will be watched. If he goes back to Jose, people will talk. If we stay away from Jose, people will talk. If he goes back to Lady J, people will talk. If he attacks Lady J again, people will talk. The audience is watching, and once the audience starts seeing you as inconsistent, everything you do becomes suspicion. Now let us talk about Lady J, because I think people are underestimating him. Lady J is controversial. Everybody knows that. He's not the type of person who will necessarily sit quietly when he feels somebody has crossed him. And in my opinion, that is why this confrontation was so effective. He knew where to apply pressure. He took out his phone, shown Nashon One his YouTube analytics. He was essentially saying, look at what I make, look at my numbers, look at my position. According to what it was shown, Lady J said he gets more than 1 million, getting money more than the president of Kenya. Never compare yourself with the president of Kenya, because they really know on how to get money. Leave alone what you are just quoting there as a salary. They know how to make money. They have so much privileges. This is exactly the same statement that Kenge said some years ago. Now, whether those figures represent a particular period or exactly how much he makes home is separate discussion, but the psychological effect of showing those numbers in that moment was huge, because Lady J was basically telling Nashon, you cannot tell me that I am dependent on donation when I can show you another side of my income. But then, towards the end of the same conversation, Lady J contradicted himself and said something else about how one time he was so low with no money. Then, waking up, he received some money, funding himself without concern. And exactly, that is why we as Maxwell Lumumba, we are here to explain those things. And sometimes we have to ask questions that supporters don't want to ask. That is the value of we doing a reaction. And that is what is supposed to be blindly support anymore. That they are supposed to challenge everybody, because the moment a reactor becomes a fanboy, the analysis is fading. Now, Lady J made statement along lines of question whether people who abuse others can build houses. That is why when I was speaking about this thing, I questioned about the brother Senso. I questioned about the sister, that is Lamborghini Express, who recently spoke about miscarriage. She's living a fake life. Everything in her is fake. Now, this tells me, and I believe that this is where the situation becomes even more interesting. From my perspective, Nashon's relationship with Jose is now becoming a major issue. If Nashon casts tie with Jose, what happens next? Who benefits? And what happens to Dancing Grandma project? Those are questions I believe audience should ask. And I'm not saying that everything is conspiracy. I'm saying that people should look at the bigger picture, because YouTube politics is not just about somebody says on camera. It is also about collaboration. It is about access. It is about project. It is about audience. It is about who gets views from who. And when one person separately, or this one person separates from this another person, somebody is always affected. Now, this is why I believe Lady J revenge was not destroying Nashon. It was putting Nashon one in a position where every future decision he makes will be questioned. This is much powerful. If Lady J simply chased Nashon away, Nashon one could go somewhere else. And I already told us where Nashon one could end him, could get himself, maybe in reaction. And Nashon one was mostly responding. And this very difficult position for anybody. Let me say something directly to Nashon one. If you ever watch this video, my advice is simple. Stop trying to please everybody. You cannot please Lady J subscribers. You cannot please Marwa subscribers. You cannot please Jose. You cannot please reactors. You cannot please everybody in the comment. Choose your principle. Choose what you believe and stand there. If you made a mistake, admit it. If you made, or if somebody paid you, explain why. If you were used, explain. If you change your mind, explain why, but do not allow other people to dictate your identity, because the moment you become somebody who moves according to whatever is standing in from you, your audience will stop knowing who you are. And this is the biggest problem I see with Nashon one. So Nashon one, this is the time to think critically. I remember, because I know people will be watching this conversation, I have serious doubt. And remember, you can apologize. You can ask for forgiveness. You can make peace. But rebuilding trust takes much longer. That is the real story here. Lady J may have won the conversation, but Nashon One have to win back his audience, and that is going to be much better. Thank you for watching. Let us meet in the next video. Goodbye. Good night.